Hello everyone, I am Dr. Brinda Madhavan, Ayurvedic physician, yoga therapist and a diet therapist. Today I am here to discuss about yogic diet. So what is it all about yogic diet? So we know it is a two-word concept. One is yoga, another is diet. So we have heard enough about yoga. Alright, so all the things including the asanas, pranayama, meditation, the kriyas like krataka. So many things we know about yoga, and we know that people are well aware about the health benefits the yoga gives. We also know about diet. So we are all very much peculiar on our food. So what to eat, what not to eat. According to the health benefits, we select the food. According to our tastes, we select the food. According to the region, we have our selections. Like North Indians select the wheat products, the South Indians select the rice products. So it is a very vast subject about diet. So the concept here is yogic diet. So we know yoga, we know diet. But what is it all about yogic diet? What is so special about yogic diet? Is it the normal diet what we are all opting, or is it that something very special for yoga people? So let's try to understand what it is. So in a very simple way, taking the help of the references of Upanishads and Vedas. Because when we say certain aspect, we should be having a good root when we speak these. So we will take the help, or we will take the reference of Upanishads, Vedas and the yogic texts to explain the yogic diet. What does the yoga aspirants need in special? So yoga, the very definition of yoga is to calm the mind. Mana prasamanopayaha yoga ityabhidiyate. That is what the textbook says. So in order to keep the peace of mind, in order to calm the mind, in order to cessate or to bring the cessation of the modifications of the mind, we need to do yoga. That is what yoga actually explains. So where is the mind? How are we going to handle this mind? We can handle our body parts, is it not? We can handle our face, we can handle our hands, legs. So physical body is easy to handle, but when you have to handle your mind, first you need to know where is the mind. We actually don't know. And yoga is to handle the mind. So the yoga aspirant is more concerned about the mind. Calming the mind is the requirement for a yoga aspirant. So the yogic diet should help for it. Okay. So according to yogic texts, there is a sloka from Gheranda Samhita, one of the renowned texts of yoga. It says, Mitaharam vinayastu yogarambham tukare nana rogo bhavetasya kinchit yogo nisidhyate. That means, without mitahara, without a proper diet, without the so-called speculated special diet, if you go for yoga, then instead of yoga or instead of calming the mind, it will create lot of problems, health problems. Nana rogas will be, many types of rogas will be created in the body instead of calming the mind and instead of bringing health to the body. So mitahara is that very important for a yoga aspirant. So it is important for everyone, but still if you are looking for something in yoga, first thing you have to take care is mitahara or the diet. So what is so special about yogic diet? Okay, so yogic diet is that something which will help you to calm the mind and in turn help the body to rest well and be healthy. That is the basic requirement of diet here. That is, first it is going to calm the mind. It will do good to the mind. The specific diet will do good to the mind, and that mind, calmness of the mind, in turn will help the body to be calm and be healthy. So that is the way how the yogic diet is going to help us. So there are many questions asked, like what are the things to be had. So should we have it before food, before the practice, before, after the practice. There are n number of questions which are being asked about yogic diet. The ancient text Taittiriya Upanishad says lots about anna, that is food. That which eats us is food, that which we eat is food. Both ways it explains. That is atti iti annam and adyate iti annam. So both is anna. Anna is what we have, what we eat is food, that we all know. But what eats us, what does it mean? It means that when we eat food, each cell grows. Each cell grows to death. The progression is towards death. That is why what we eat is food, what eats us is food. That is the verbal meaning for anna. This particular food is being explained in many texts. So not only in yoga texts, other than that we have references in Bhagavad Gita also. In Bhagavad Gita there is a shloka in 6th chapter saying Yuktahara viharasya Yukta cheshtasya karmasu Yukta swapnavabodhasya Yogo bhavati dukkha. Yoga is to remove the dukkha. Dukkha means all the pains, all the sufferings, all the health hazards, all the disturbances of the mind, all the disturbances of the physical body. All this is being kept away with yoga. But that happens when there is a yukta ahara. Yukta ahara means proper diet. Yukta vihara, proper activities. Yukta cheshtasya karmasu, yukta swapnava bodhasya. Even the sleep, even the awareness, everything should be yukta or proper. Only then the yoga enters you, or only then there is health. That is what Bhagavad Gita says. In yet another reference of Bhagavad Gita, it says 3 types of people. That is Rajasika, Tamasika and Sattvika. There are 3 types of people. So according to the type of people, they select those foods. Okay. So certain foods are liked by Sattvika people, and certain foods are liked by Rajasika people, and certain foods are liked by Tamasika people. So it is very specifically telling about those foods. So Bhagavad Gita says this Sattvika ahara means it will increase the ayu, that is the longevity or the lifespan. It will increase sattva. Sattva means the energy of a person. We all know we have certain energies in the morning, we have certain low energies at evenings and nights. So it is the food which is the food is actually increasing the energy and decreasing the energy. We all know that. So Sattvika ahara will increase the bala. It will give us arogya, that is, it will give us the health, it will give us happiness, and all these better good things are increased with Sattvika food. Okay, those food with Sattvika effect. Okay, and those food will be rasya, that is, it will be very tasty, it will have a little of oil content in it. Not the external oil what we add like coconut oil or sunflower oil. The food itself will have an oil content in it. So that is Sattvika food. So So if it is a groundnut or if it is a coconut, all that has a content of oil in it. It's called snigdhata. So inbuilt oil content. So that is good, or that is sattvika food. So that will be very pleasing to the mind and the body also. So such foods are sattvika food. And there is another type of food which is being discussed in Bhagavad Gita. It is Rajasika food. And Rajasika food is that which creates a lot of activities in our body. Okay, so pungent, very bitter, very sour, very salty. All these type of food add up to the Rajasika guna in a person. Okay. So Rajasika guna also is being increased with dry foods, so which doesn't have any oil content in it. So it's called Ruksha Ahara. And then Tikshna Ahara. It's very penetrating sort of, like we have pickles, very spicy and very penetrating sort of. So such things when you have, it is called as Rajasika Ahara. And very, very fantastically Bhagavad Gita, it in the sloka of Bhagavad Gita, it adds, just after that line, it adds that if you have such foods, Rajasika foods, it will increase dukkha, shoka and amaya. The three things which will be caused due to Rajasika food is dukkha, shoka and amaya. That means if you have had all these years such foods, then you will be having lot of pains or mental pressures or difficulties or physical pains. Amaya is diseases, many kinds of diseases. So that is the result of Rajasika food. That is the result of having all these salty, sour, very pungent and very spicy, oily, very penetrating sort of foods, Tikshna foods. So that is Rajasika Ahara, and the Rajasika Ahara is going to cause you all these difficulties. Many types of Amaya, Shoka and Dukkha. Yet another type of food is Tamasika food. Tamasika food is a dull food, that which makes a person very dull. Okay, so what it is like? So the text, the particular Bhagavad Gita text says that Tamasika foods are that which is kept for long hours once it is cooked. Maybe after 3 hours of the cooking, it becomes stale. So those stale and old foods will cause Tamasika guna in a person. Okay, that person is going to become very dull and inactive. So that is a Tamasika guna. So what we need is to work in any manner. If you want to work in any field, we need energy and active nature, positive nature. That is not got in Tamasika food. So Tamasika food will reduce your energy, that will reduce the activity, that will reduce the positivity, and you will totally become dull. So all the leftover foods, those foods which are cooked and it has become stale, all these foods are considered Tamasika. So these are the main things which are being discussed. There are many other aspects which are being discussed in Bhagavad Gita about these gunas, especially these Sattvika, Rajasika and Tamasika guna. But this is the specific thing which is being explained in that book. So we should be having, in order to keep up our positive nature, in order to be energetic, in order to be positive, we need to eat the Sattvika food itself. That is what Bhagavad Gita says. There is a reference in Chandogya Upanishad saying that Annam Ashitam Tredha Vidhiyate. There are 3 aspects, there are 3 portions of Anna. So, Yah Sthulaha Tat Purisham. The major gross part of Anna or the food becomes the Purisha. Purisha means the stools or the excreta. The major or the gross part, what we can see out there. So the gross part of the Anna or the food becomes Purisha. Yo Madhyaha Tan Mamsa. that is the middle part of the food, which is not gross nor the essence. So the middle part of the food becomes mamsa. That is our gross body. Like whatever we can see as you, the gross body is being formed by the madhya part or the middle part of that food. Okay, and the last, the essence. Okay, yo anishtaha tan manaha. That means the real essence of each food, which is not gross, which we can't see. Okay, you can call it as proteins, you can call it as carbohydrates, you can call it as minerals, you can call it as vitamins, whatever. The essence of that particular food makes the mind. Okay, so it can be a positive food, it can be a negative food, whatever the last and the essence of that food makes the mind. So you have to understand that when we eat a food, the gross part, whether it is looking very good, whether it is red in color, orange in color, it's all the gross part of that food. That gross part of the food just moves out of your body as excreta or the stools. The middle part, which is neither the gross nor the essence, that is called the madhya part of the food, is becoming the mamsa, that is your physical body. Okay, your looks, your face, your hair, your skin, your muscle structures, all these is being formed by the madhya part of that. And the real essence, whatever is the real virya or vipaka of that particular food, becomes your mind. So that is a very wonderful explanation in Chandogya Upanishad. So we need to select the food in such a way that it will add up to our mind. It will add up to the positivity of our mind, or it will add up the creativity in us. So it's all depending upon the creativity, our intellect, our capacity to excel in a particular area. All depends upon our mind and our brain, and that is being got from the essence of all the food. So by this particular 2 lines or 3 lines in that Chandogya Upanishad, we should understand that what we are now as physically and what we are now as how we have put out our ability is all depending upon the food we eat. We are what we eat. Okay, it's a very, very big topic to understand that whatever we are, what we think, what we speak, what we understand, what we create, what we act is all what we eat. It's a very big point. So people misunderstand that we cultivate all these abilities through our knowledge and through the things around us. No, it is not so. It's all what you speak, what you intend to speak is all depending upon what you eat, the essence of what you have eaten. So that is well explained in Chandogya Upanishad. So I have already said yoga expects a person to have mitahara. So what is this mitahara? So without mitahara, yoga doesn't happen. That is what the shloka in Gheranda Samhita says. Mitaharam vinayastu kinchit yogona siddhyati. That's what yoga text says. So what is this mitahara? What is the quality of a mitahara? So mita ahara. So what is this mita? Ahara we have understood. So what is this mita? This small word mita has a lot big meaning. It is just not the quality of the food which is being described. It says about the time, it says about the quantity, it says about the quality of the mind when you take the food. So it's very wonderfully, very specifically says all about the things when you have, whatever you should have when you have a food. So the shloka goes like this: Susnikam maduraharam chaturthamsa vivarjitam bhujyate shiva sampritye mitahara suchyate. So this is how it goes. So what is all this? So susnigdham, as I have said, the food you have should be susnigdham, that is, it should be unctuous. So what do you mean by unctuous? Unctuous means the food should contain the oily nature. That means there should be inbuilt oil content in the food. Otherwise that food is very dry, and the dry food is not acceptable or assimilated by the body. So if there is an oil content in that particular food, it is well moving from the mouth till the rectal area. Otherwise it is very difficult to move the food. Same time, the assimilation power is also increased with the oil content of the food. So susnigdham is a quality of the food which is being described in the textbooks. Then we have susnigdham madhuraharam. So it says madhurahahara. It doesn't mean that the food should be mixed with sugar or jaggery. Madhurahara means again the food should be having the carbohydrate content or the glucose content, because after the assimilation, after the digestion, it should have a byproduct of glucose in it. Only when you have that glucose content, the body gets the energy. That is why madhurahara is very important in a yogic diet, because when you do yoga, you require a lot of energy in order to have that energy, because it's not a small thing to do. Yoga is not a small thing to do. So you need lot of concentration, you need the mind power, you need the physical power to do asanas. All this is required, and all in order to activate all this, you need energy, and energy is produced by glucose, and glucose is got by madhurahara. Chaturthamsa vivarjitam. So how much should you have? The quantity is being explained. So see how wonderfully it explains. Chaturthamsa vivarjitam, the 1/4, chaturthamsa, the 1/4 of the stomach should be left free. So now what happens if you like a food? Okay, if you if you like a food, you binge on it, is it not? So you like something in front of you, you just eat so much that you don't even mind about your stomach. You don't even feel that whatever you are filling in is into your stomach. So you feel it like to the brim. You should not be doing that. So yoga says only the first, like the 1/4 should be left free. So why should you leave the 1/4 of your stomach free? Because that area is used to churn the food. Okay, for the assimilation, to churn the food or to mix the food. If you fill it to the brim, then the mixing of the food, to digest the food, it becomes very difficult. So you should leave a space to churn the food, to roll the food, to mix the food. You need that space. And not only that, when this food is being digested, there is lot amount of gas and emulsification, everything happens in the stomach, and that needs little space. So when the food is getting fermented, when the food is getting activated by these enzymes and the acids, there is an amount of emulsification happening to the food, and that requires some space. So that is why chaturthamsa vivarjitam, you have to leave the 1/4 of the stomach space for that particular activity. Okay. Then the line goes, bhujyate shiva samprite. Bhujyate, you need to eat to satisfy the Shiva. So what is the meaning of satisfying the Shiva? So we can take it in two sense. So Shiva is the God. That means you have to eat a food as if we are offering to God. So how do we offer to God? What is that we offer to God? We offer the best of the things to God, is it not? We don't offer all the stale and putrefied things. So, okay, we always offer fruits which are fresh. Okay, we offer all that is good and very pure and very clean. So also we don't take something very muddy or take from something from the waste basket or something and then offer. We always offer something very good and pure and very neat and very clean. So Bhujyate Shiva Sampritya, you have to offer as if you are offering it to the God. So that good food should be offered to ourselves. That is one of the meaning. In another meaning, we can understand that Shiva is the Atma or the spirit or the inner essence, whatever we have. So when you eat food, the food should not be that which is appeasing your hair or your looks or your cosmetics, your muscles or your bones. The food should be that which is good to your spirit or Atma, your mind, such things. So more than the physical body, the food should be appeasing, or it should be doing good to your spirit. More than the body, the food should be doing good to your spirit. So Shiva, that which is not. Shiva, that which is not. That is the meaning of Shiva. That which is not. That which is not seen by you. That is the Atma. That which is not. When you see a mirror, you don't see something. That is your Atma. What you see is just your body. So the food should be given to that which is not. That which is not your body, that which is your mind, that which is your Atma. So always take care of your mind when you eat the food. So bhujyate shiva samprityai. You have to do justice to your inner self than the outer self. That is called mitahara. That means the quality of the food should be that which is pleasing to your mind and the spirit, and that which is snigdha, that is unctuous or oily, that which is madhura, that is which is having the glucose content and that which can provide the energy for you, and the quantity of it. We always have the doubt, how much should we have the food? The quantity is always a question for us. So the quantity is, you should be filling the 3/4 and leaving the 1/4 free. So this is about mitahara, which is being explained in yogic diet. Yoga explains two types of food. One is patyahara, another is apatyahara. So what is this patyahara and what is apatyahara? The conducive food. Conducive food means that which is good to the body. That is called patyahara. Those which are not good to the body is called apatyahara. Patha is pati bhavam pathyam. That means that which allows the energy to pass through the Sushumna Nadi, which energizes the body. That is called pathyam. So patyahara in yoga has some certain foods. So yoga says these foods are good for a yoga aspirant. So there are set of foods which are understood as apatya. So for a yogi or for a yoga aspirant, those foods are not conducive for the body. That means it may bring make the mind dull. So that is apatyahara. So let us try to understand what are the pathya foods, what are the conducive foods, what are the allowed foods for yogi or yoga aspirant. The shloka says that the wheat, rice, barley, milk, ghee, jaggery, sugar candies, honey, dried ginger, then cucumber, the patola, what we call cucumbers, many type of cucumbers, then vegetables, there are 5 vegetables mentioned in yoga, then moong is green gram, then we have pulses, then even the pure water, whatever the purest form of water is the rain water, yoga says. So yamindra pathyam, that is what yoga says. So these are the conducive foods a yoga aspirant should have. So all this creates more of alkalinity in a body, and it creates more positivity, and positive energy is being filled in because of these conducive foods. That's why it is called patyahara. Another set of ahara which yoga says as apatyahara, which a yoga aspirant should not be having, is they are especially those food which have the taste like pungent taste, sour, very spicy, very salty, very hot potency foods. All these are considered as apatyahara. Then some of the leafy vegetables are considered as apatyahara. Then we have sour gruel, that is the things which are prepared the day before and made fermented and then taken the next day. That is called sauvira or sour gruels. Then we have oil things, any oils for that matter is not conducive. It's understood, it is taken as apatya food. Then tila is sesame seeds. Sesame or tila seeds are understood as apatyahara in yoga. Then we have mustard seeds, sarshapa, what we call in Sanskrit sarshapa, is also apatyahara. Then as usual, madhya, alcohol content, whatever foods has alcohols. Then malsya, that is the fish varieties. Then we have mamsa, any mamsa, ajadi mamsa, it says ajadi mamsa, any flesh of any living thing is considered as apatyahara. Then curd, buttermilk, then what do you call, pulatha. So all these hingu, that is asafoetida, then garlic. So all these things are considered as apatya. So these are considered apatya because this creates acidity in our body, and this acidity can increase the fermentation of the already present food, and that causes a lot of acid content in our body, and that can cause a lot of health hazards and health problems, and that will not add up anything to the positive mind. That is why it is considered as apatyahara. So if you are looking for something in yoga, as you all know, the destination of yoga is self-realization. In order to have self-realization, the mind power should be very accurate and very maximum. So in order to make the mind very accurate and very maximum attentive, then you should have certain foods which are very positive and very energizing. That is why this particular foods are made into patya and apatya, that which is conducive to our mind and which is not conducive to our mind. So this is how it is. And in a conclusion, as a conclusion, if we can say that the yogic diet is all those foods which are doing good to your mind and in turn doing good to your physical body. So I would like to conclude this session on yogic diet by saying that having food according to your taste or according to the availability of the things or according to the seasonal requirements or according to the easiness of preparing, that is not the actual need or actual requirement of the body. So the requirement of the body is very different. So understand the requirement of the body and accordingly select the food. So that is what the conclusion is. So usually people have the food according to the tastes. Some people like some sweets, some people like non-vegetarian food, or some people like very spicy, some people like very oil fried things. So it is not the likings, it is not the taste which should be deciding your diet. So the decision of the diet is according to the health benefits. So yogic diet is one of the best diets you can have to keep up the health, and as well as you can keep up your active mind so that you can live healthy. So I conclude my small talk on yogic diet. Hope you have all understood the basic content about the yogic diet. So So thank you all. Have a healthy life. Have a great life. Thank you.